Can I taste your juice?
What do you think, Dimitri? You like that?
Oh my God, Phil, I just can't believe how big it is.
Is that unbelievable?
It is ginormous.
Tell me you don't like that.
I mean, what's really shocking is that it's black.
So you like the Futura?
That's pretty nice.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Okay, so the last piece of hardware that I'm going to talk to you guys about before we get into looking at some e-liquids is a device called the Hydra from ElCigArt. These folks are in Greece. Dimitri knows who they are, so he helped out a little bit with the language barrier in this interview. This is an impressive piece. Take a look. Hi, buddy.
Hey, baby.
How you doing?
I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted. I understand that. I'm a little exhausted too.
Yeah, I bet.
And this is what's left of my voice.
Yeah, me too. Me
I'm
too.
gonna sound like Barry White again today.
Well, I'm dripping using this new device over here, so it's a pretty cool a device that came out of Greece, and I got to see it this summertime when I was there. I got a prototype of it. I was working on it. I'm really pleased to see the final product of it.
And I think you're from Greece too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from that little country over there in Greece, absolutely.
So I'm here with Dimitri, and introduce.
This is John Artopoulos.
Nice to meet you.
And his father, of course, Spiro. They own ElCigArt.
Before we go, I mean, really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Monkey has already gotten to this job.
we monkey-fied the dad.
We monkey-fied dad. That's awesome. So we have a new device here, and I want to show it on the channel.
Absolutely.
And let's introduce it to the world right now. What is the name of it, and what's special about it?
Okay. Go ahead, John.
The name of new device is the new mod Lernaia Hydra.
Okay, so this is the Hydra or the Hydra.
The Hydra, yeah. In short, Hydra. It's a mythical creature from the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Obviously, the creature with the 3 heads, and that's the design logo that we have put on top.
With the 9 heads, but the Hercules cut it all and they have only 3. This is the mode, mechanical mode for the Zorba.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what the Zorba is basically an add-on to a mechanical device that gives you variable wattage.
It's the external tube variable wattage device for all mechanical modes. And if you want to put it in the Lernaia Hydra, you take out the 510 connection and put the adjustable pole here and put it in the Lernaia Hydra, and looks like hybrid.
The purpose of the Zorba, if I can interject here, the purpose of the Zorba was it was a variable wattage add-on, so you can put it on a mechanical mod and not take away the romanticism of the mod.
Right.
And you don't have to drop down battery size. If you're going to put a kick, you're going to have to drop down the battery size. So this was meant to be added to, let's say, a polished GG, and you still keep the romanticism of a mechanical mod, but off of variable wattage.
Exactly.
But one of the problems that they ran into is after they started making them is some of the mods that are out there, they don't have really good buttons. So just like the kick now, if the kick does not make the people blame the kick sometimes the mechanical mods are not working well. It's not really that. Some of them don't have good buttons, some of them are not making good contact inside the body. So they figured, I said, we made the Zorba, let's go ahead and make a tube for it and just make it one complete package and make our own switch that we know is going to work every time using this variable wattage add-on. So that's how the idea came to create this whole line of mod, and it's not just the mod itself. I mean, it's got an airflow control, it's got a very unique switch. I know you've talked extensively about this switch, so it has really turned out to something spectacular.
And, you know, one of the great things about this is it's modular, okay? So you're not only buying a regulated device, but you're also buying a mechanical device.
Absolutely.
Right? So you don't have to use, you know, the variable wattage section of it, the Zorba section of it.
Correct. Right? And now he'll show you over here how he's going to remove the Zorba.
Remove the Zorba.
So we're taking the Zorba out.
Put the upper cap.
And we're just putting
inside, and you have a mechanical mode.
So let's talk about the variable wattage section of it right now. First of all, it goes from watt to watt. What's the range?
From 6 watts to 22 watts.
6 watts to 22 watts, okay? And it's got kind of a unique way you set it, and it's set via an LED. Okay, so again, we're keeping like the romanticism of a mechanical, and we're not putting a screen on it, okay? It's just, can we show that on camera, how you would adjust it?
All right, so here is the actual LED. When I fire it, you'll see that it glows. That's letting us know that the device is working. One of the reasons they didn't go with the screen, and these guys are electrical engineers that could easily put an OLED screen on this, but it takes away from the romanticism of a mechanical mod. I mean, when you hold this, you can't tell this is a regulated power device. The way you go into the menu system is you use the actual switch. You depress it 3 times, that puts you in the menu system, and then you get a series of blinking LEDs. When they're blue, if you count the LEDs, it'll tell you how many watts you're set at. If you keep holding the button, it'll turn into a red LED, and as that red LED is increasing, you can adjust it.
Right.
So now I'm going to give you an example. We'll see how many watts we have it in here, and then I'm going to change the watts as well.
Okay.
So we go 1, 2, 3. We hold the button. We get the little light show. Now we're into the menu system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I let go of the button, and now I'm set at 12 watts.
Right.
So the blue was the setting that I had it before at 13 watts. I kept the button depressed, and I set it back to 12 watts.
Right.
After you let go of the button, now it's always set at 12 watts, and you can begin to vape. So that's the way that the LED system works. It also has reverse battery protection, so if you do put your battery reverse inside, it's not going to fry the board on this. And also, you know, all your normal features, you know, over discharge, and the safety protection is an electronic mod, but in a mechanical tube feature.
Okay. And by the way, we're letting Dimitri do a lot of the talking here because there's a little bit of a language barrier.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, John, if you want to show this, let's talk about the locking system first. In a lot of mechanical mods, the way that the locks work, you have to keep unthreading a bottom ring to force the button not to make connection.
Right.
The problem with that is, first that you have to keep unscrewing to get down. And sometimes, since there is no audible, you think that you have your mod locked and it's still on. You put it inside your pocket, it's gonna fire. This utilizes a 30-degree lock with an audible. So the mod is on now. If I turn it to 30 degrees right there, it's locked. It's not gonna fire. Turn it 30 degrees, now the mod will fire. And you can also hear, you don't actually have to look at this while you're doing it, so you can just sit down, you hear the click, you know that your mod is locked, and you can put it
right
inside
up to
the pocket.
Microphone. Maybe we can actually catch the click. Okay, so hopefully that'll come through in the video. But it's got an extremely high quality feel to it when you make that click. I mean,
Yes, you definitely know that you got this mod locked and it's not gonna fire, which is unlike the button on it they're using something completely different. I have never seen this in a button before.
Right.
There is no spring and there is no magnet inside. And John will tell you a little bit more details about the button because, you know, I'm a field vapor. I'm not a technical vapor, but they'll tell you a little bit more of the details. The button, I did have a lot to do with it when I was in Greece because they were asking me, do you think this idea was great? And I said, absolutely. I mean, well, you don't have to keep threading it to lock a device, just a little simple. You can just hear it. I know it's locked. I don't have to worry about it and put it in my pocket.
Before we get to the button, because we are going to show the internals of the button, which is really nice of him to do that for us. Because the button doesn't use a spring in the traditional sense of a spring, and there are no magnets. It does have an airflow control cap too, which is actually really nice and smooth too.
Yes, absolutely. I'll try to show it here on the top cap so you can see they actually designed this whole top cap themselves, this airflow control. I'm going to show you to the bottom here. It's self-adjusting pin inside. Once you thread down your atomizer, it'll self-adjust that pin, and then you can actually adjust it to flush mount to your device as well too.
Okay.
So once you put this on the device,
Stop moving so fast.
I'm sorry. I'm excited because you're here.
I know.
Let me set this to the side and show it to you here on my device. You'll see that there's a 45-degree turn to adjust your airflow from fully closed. And then as you're going up, and you tested that yesterday when you were using it, if you just start pulling on your atomizer, you'll be able to tell the difference just by making that little turn right there, how open, and when it's set right there, it's fully open. So that's the only turn that you do to adjust the airflow cap. This actually can be used on other mods too.
Right.
You can buy the airflow control and use it on other. Yes, absolutely. These will be available in parts as well too.
Okay.
So if you want to take this and put it on another device, you'll be able to put that on another device to adjust the airflow.
That's very
very unique. And of course the tubes. One thing that we didn't say earlier. It's going to come with 18350, 18500, 18650 tube complete. It'll be available in satin or polished, and it'll be available in 22 millimeter or 23 millimeter diameter. So you're going to have a wide variety of choices to
cool.
mix and match to whatever that you want. You know.
So we'll talk about in a second, like what they're going to get with the kit and what the estimated price is going to be after we take a look at the button.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so unfortunately we don't have the tool to open up the switch. However, I do have photos of the button, so I'll be able to show some of the parts that are inside while we talk about
something very unique. John can explain a little bit more about the switch and how the design is.
Before we talk about that, let me just say this: that the switch on this, I literally have not been this excited about a switch since I felt the switch on the Titan.
Yeah.
So it had that kind of impact on me because it is super smooth.
Yeah.
It's like butter. I mean, it really is.
I'm not a fan of these recessed buttons, and you're not either.
I'm not a fan.
Another thing that we have similar feel.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't sold on this. I wasn't sold on this this design until I felt this button. And what's great about it, no matter where you're gonna hit it, it's always gonna emit fire. It's not limited to some of the mods that you have to really center out the button and hit it right there in the middle.
It's so amazingly smooth. So let's talk about some of the technology about this button as we're looking at the photographs too. Okay.
This button, we want to create a button with a touch feeling. It's not hard to push. Push it.
The membrane.
The membrane, yes. They don't have either magnets, either springs. Have a membrane inside and have continuously connectivity. And we make this button for the Zorba because Zorbas wants best connectivity to play right.
Okay.
In order for the
Zorba to work right, and for the variable wattage to work right. Because I mean, we know it's very similar with the kick, right? The kick doesn't work in every device, and it's mostly an issue of the button or conductivity in the device. Okay, and we needed that kind of amazing conductivity to get the Zorba to work the right way. So you've come up with this new design on the switch, and it doesn't use a traditional spring, it doesn't use magnets, it uses a membrane.
It's kind of like an offset plaque inside, and you'll see it in the pictures that Phil's showing. And it kind of the membrane kind of sits on the button, and every time that you press that button, it creates this. No matter where you're going to hit the button, it's going to fire the device. And that was the thinking behind creating the entire mod, having a button that acts like that.
Right. It's a very impressive design.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's unlike anything else that's out. Let's talk about what you're going to get when you get one of these devices. What's going to be in your basic kit?
I want to show you one thing before we go into the kit.
There's something else to look at.
Well, I mean, you look at this device and it looks like a pure mechanical. This is the brain of the Zorba, so this is really what you're getting inside the can of the Zorba, which sits on top of the device. There's a lot of technology that has gone into this piece right here. So it doesn't give you that feel though, and it's kind of hard to describe. You still have that romanticism of that tube, yet you get all this brains inside this device. So John, what is the basic kit gonna have inside?
And I know, by the way, Dimitris, much like an Italian, talks with his hands. So let me see if I can get a steady shot of this right here. That's the brains that are inside the device.
Το βασικό το kit με τον Zorba με την Lernaia Hydra. The basic kit is the switch button, the tube 18350, the Zorbas, and the upper cap. This is...
Okay, so that's it right there.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically what you can do is you can create this into a mechanical mod. You can create it into a variable wattage with a hybrid look because it threads reverse on the mod itself. You're gonna get a switch, and you're also gonna get this adapter. If you want to take the Zorba and put it up on another mechanical mod, you have another mechanical mod that's polished, 22 millimeters. You can take this, thread it on there on the Zorba. Then you can take this and screw it on top of any other mod and make that variable wattage as well. So this is gonna be your basic kit. What you're gonna have available after that and aftermarket parts 18500, 18652. The airflow control will be sold separately.
No control.
Right. Okay. So what do we have an estimated price on the basic kit at this
What's
point?
the estimated price on the basic kit?
The estimate price of the base kit is about $200.
About $200 for the basic kit right there. That's a rough estimate. Now, as far as pricing, nothing has been set in stone, but that's what they're guessing that you're gonna get this whole thing for about $200.
Do we know what the prices of the battery tubes or the airflow control are going to be yet?
Roughly, I don't know if you want to get the airflow control.
Airflow control about $15. $50.
About $50 for the airflow control.
Okay. And the battery tubes?
The tubes,
25.
about $25.
$25.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about availability? When is this going to be? When are people going to be able to buy this?
About 2 weeks in our seller CJ Monkey in Vape Venue.
Vapor venue.
Okay, so in about 2 weeks, and CJ is going to be the exclusive vendor for this.
I'm not quite sure I don't really like to use the word exclusive when it comes to mod, because I just don't think that's a good idea. But I know CJ works with other vendors as well too. So even if CJ brings it in, I know he's going to distribute it with the other people that he works with, and it's going to be in at least 15-20 stores here in Cali, and of course online as well too.
Well, very cool, guys.
Thank you very much.
What'd you think of the show? You have a good time?
Yeah, it's very good.
Very good.
We meet very many vapors.
There's a lot of vapors.
A lot of vapors. And
Did you enjoy yourself, sir?
Thank you very much, sir.
What did you like most here?
It's very nice. Beautiful. I think it's always very beautiful. Always very beautiful.
I think he especially liked the Asian models.
I think do you blame him?
it's with model.
Fucking you.
Goodbye.
With model. It's here with model. Oh, yes, model.
That's awesome.
See how big his small guy when you got back there? It's a small one this time.
Wow, that's great. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck, and please keep me posted as to when this becomes available, and we'll definitely let people know about it. And thank you. I mean, I do have a unit, so
I'm looking forward to you putting it through its paces.
Oh hell yeah, I will.
Because this is really one of the companies, we talk about vendors and manufacturers and models that listen and don't listen. These guys over here really care about how the product works in the field.
Right.
And people like you that have a lot of experience, so you can put it through the test, they're really looking forward to the feedback that they're going to get and always try to improve the product. And I'm looking forward to you, because for me, I vape it. It tastes good, that's all I got to tell you.
Right?
I'm absolutely happy with the way that it tastes.
All right, guys, thanks very much
The
for talking.
slogan is we make products from vapors to vapors.
Oh, vapors, good.
Yeah.
And you are a vapor,
Yeah.
right? And you just give Dad all the ideas.
2 years and a half.
Right?
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you very
Nice
much.
to meet you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Get out of here.
Bye.
All right, so let's talk about some e-liquids, because there are e-liquid companies popping up left and right. I know this because I probably turn down maybe 3 to 4 e-liquid reviews a day because I simply can't keep up. But we will get to new juice companies. Don't you worry about that. And with all of these e-liquid companies popping up, how are they being produced? Where are they being produced? There's the guy on this shoulder that's saying, let them make whatever they want to make, small business, let them make money, blah, blah, blah. And then there's this guy over here who's saying, you really kind of want to know what you're putting into your body, so some regulation might be good. And hopefully some of these companies are self-regulating, and that appears to be the case. We're going to see that in a little bit. But the flavors are really getting good. I mean, they're good now, but they're getting different. They're getting more unique. There are companies that are putting a lot of time and effort into their e-liquids beyond just buying off-the-shelf flavoring and just kind of mixing a bunch of flavors together and giving you a product. I'm not saying that those are bad products, but when we hear different price ranges for e-liquids, we need to understand a little bit what's going into making some of these e-liquids, like the folks that I talked to at 5 Pawns. pretty impressive operation. Let's talk to them now. These guys, who are these guys? These guys are 5 phones. There they are at ECC 2013. Hi guys.
How's it going?
That mustache is brilliant.
Well, thank you very much.
And speaking of brilliant, look at the display here, folks. This is absolutely beautiful. They really kind of set the standard here at ECC. How long did the booth itself take to come up with? And is this the first time that you're debuting the booth?
This is the first time. Guys were working on it about 4 days straight, getting it done. Like a 5-hour build out yesterday morning.
Really?
So a lot of work.
Okay.
Not looking forward to taking it down.
To talk about the booth. Yeah, I don't want to take it down. I'm not helping you either, by the way. I like it, not that much though. So, but we're not here to talk about the booth. We're talking about the e-liquid that you're selling
Right on.
here. So, what makes it different? Because obviously you have a very, very unique look to the booth.
Right.
But does it, kind of carry into your line of e-liquids? And I think it does. I think you're doing some unique things.
Awesome, thank
you.
you.
So, talk to the
Thanks, you guys trying any flavors?
All right.
You can look at me.
So what separates 5 Ponds, I think, is that all of our base elements, all of our extracts and infusions, we do in-house. So they're all our own. So we know that nobody else is using exactly what we're using. We kind of wanted to introduce. We're all fans of top shelf liquor, so we drink a lot of good liquors, and we wanted something in the e-liquid market to kind of elevate, so kind of fill a top end niche kind of. So everything's organic, no sweeteners, no artificial flavorings. That's pretty much what keeps us apart, I think, from.
So all of your flavorings you're doing yourself?
Yes.
Every single flavor?
Every one.
So that's, so basically your e-liquid cannot be recreated.
Right.
Which is kind of unique.
Definitely, and that's something that sets us apart from.
And now, is there something else with like aging stuff and oak barrels? Talk to me about that.
So we've got a release that we're launching a couple times a year. It's a Castle Long Reserve. We steep that in an oak barrel for up to a month. We have a proprietary filtering process. Once it comes out, we leave 30 mils in the oak barrel just for our shops to kind of get the scent. We bottle it. There's 67 bottles per barrel. There's a little higher price point to it because of the fact that there's a lot involved in the steeping process and our filtering process. And so currently we're doing that twice a year. We do that in 0, 6, and 12 nicotine strengths right now.
Very cool.
Thank you.
When you look at e-liquids, e-liquids are going to become like wine.
Right. Definitely.
There are going to be people who like your $5 bottle of wine that you get at the supermarket.
Right.
And there are going to be people who like finer wine.
Right. I mean, and the thing with us is that I love liquid. I vape everything. And we don't really compete with any other liquid vendors because your palates evolve. Some people want a rich and savory right off the bat. Some people want something, simple, easy, and we find that palates evolve eventually. So
can you show people? I want to show people your packaging and your labeling because it's a little unique.
Definitely. All right. So for instance, this is our Castle Long Reserve, right? We do outer packaging. Just so you can kind of store it wherever, put it in your car, wherever you need to do it. The Castle Long has a special insert basically telling you about the steeping process and what goes into it. Got our 30 ml bottles. We do batch numbers and lot numbers for quality control purposes so that we can tell exactly when it was bottled and what line it came off of. We do batches 250, so this is 49 out of our 152 numbers.
Okay.
All are sealed, drippers.
Very
Do you have a
impressive.
flavor that you're interested in?
On your higher line e-liquid, the one that you age in your oak barrels and everything, what does the 30 ml
I'll
dose
check
like?
for you.
The Castle Long Reserve retails at $37.50 right now. Yeah, for the 30 ml.
And like I say about everything out there's a market for everything.
Right.
There are people who like the finer things
Right.
in life, and they may very well consider that e-liquid one of the finer.
Right, and we know it's not for everyone, but we want our branding and our marketing to stand, to match the flavor potential of our liquid.
And I think you've done an excellent job. Of
Thank you.
branding your product.
I really.
I mean, without a doubt. Look at it. I mean, seriously.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, coming from you, that's amazing, man.
Well, thanks very much. How's the show working out for you? Are you
Awesome.
being well
No,
received?
definitely. This is great.
Are you selling some e-liquid?
Oh yeah. This is awesome.
Well, good. Congratulations.
Right on.
Lots
Thanks.
of luck.
Thanks for turning out, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I know, wardrobe change. These videos take an incredible amount of time to do. So I have some right here. This is the 5 Pawns Castle Long Reserve, okay, and I figured, why not? Let's do a juice review. It's only one. So let's open this tube up here, and we got a real nice packaging here. Here's the information sheet that you saw in the video, and here is the e-liquid. Now, some of that e-liquid is missing, and I'll tell you why that is, because my brother was here with his daughter, who is my niece, Lexi. You saw that in the first video. And he is the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to e-liquids. And he tried a whole bunch of stuff that I had, and this was one of the ones that he liked, so I did give him a little bit of that. A little bit. I haven't even tried it yet. So let's do a review on the 5 Pawns Castle Long Reserve. We'll bring up the chart of juice prices here. You see 5 Pawns. Okay, they are not a cheap company. All right, so they are $27.50 for 30 mils. But you do get free shipping. So that brings them all the way over to the right-hand side of the screen. Now, you know, a lot of you are going to, right off the bat, you're going to say, oh, I'm never going to buy them, they're too expensive. Yeah, well, for some of you, that's probably the case. I don't know if I would spend that much money on an e-liquid, but there are those that will, for something unique, something different, for a company that goes the extra mile and, you know, and makes their own flavoring. I mean, that right there has got to add a dollar amount to their e-liquids. Okay, they're making all of their flavors themselves. They're not buying off-the-shelf flavors. They're actually creating their own flavors. So the more I go to these events, the more I talk to the vendors and the manufacturers, the more I understand why one thing costs a little bit more than another. Can you get the same experience from something less expensive? Of course you can, but there are those that are willing to spend a little bit more money for what they may perceive as higher quality stuff. So let's try this higher quality stuff right now. And the Reserve, obviously, like you heard in the video, it does cost more money than their standard line, their standard $27.50 for 30 mils. But I have my HH357 long barrel, a new one, not the one that popped the night before the event, on a ProVary 3.7 volts. This is a 2 ohm long barrel, right? And this is the Castle Long Reserve. Let me smell it. All right, here's what I get from the aroma. First of all, it is an extremely pleasant scent. Like I said, I haven't tried this one yet. I'm getting like hints of oak and vanilla, and that's what I get. It is man, that stuff smells really, really good. Hints of oak and vanilla. That's what I'm getting from the scent. Let's go ahead and do some dripping here. So, all right, let's find me a drip tip. I got one sitting right here, and let's try Castle Long Reserve from 5 Pawns. Here we go. And I should turn off my fan. Is this a 12 milligram? This is a 12 milligram. Isn't watching me vape like painfully boring for some of you? It's got to be. It is for me. I am going to bump this up. I am going to go up to 4 volts on this. Okay, I'm going to go up to 4 volts. I think I got enough in there. Let me try some at 4 volts. All right, so let's talk about Castle Long Reserve. It's really complex. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. The vapor is good. It's come out. It's just kind of lingering right now. It hasn't dissipated right away. That's the 50-50 blend. I would expect that. The throat hit. Although I can feel the nicotine, I'm not feeling the nicotine here. So like body-wise, I know there's nicotine in there. Throat hit-wise, not so much. There is a very, very slight thump there, and I got to take kind of a longer draw to get that throat hit. So that throat hit there, that would not satisfy me. You know, maybe in some of my other devices, I might be able to get more of a throat hit. Yeah, when I first load up that atomizer and I take that first nice long mouth draw followed by the inhale, I am getting a little bit of a throat hit there, but it's not quite enough to satisfy my needs for a throat hit. Maybe in some of my other devices like the Russian, which is like killing me right now with a microcoil in there. I would like to try this this e-liquid in there, but with the 357, not much of a throat hit. Yeah, see, that's not too bad. It's a little bit of a wetter, mushier throat hit, kind of like the throat hit that I've come to know from some of the higher VG ratios, some of the e-liquids anyway. All right, so let's talk about the flavor, because there's a lot going on in this e-liquid. The first thing that I get is vanilla. And okay, so the first thing I get is like how smooth it is. This is a very smooth e-liquid. That's the first thing. Next I get vanilla, okay, and then I get oak. Now, is that oak coming from the oak barrels that this is supposedly steeped in, or is it coming from flavorings? I don't know, but I certainly get it. I'm getting, it's nutty, it's very rich. This is a very rich e-liquid. I'm getting this nuttiness. I'm getting maybe coconut in there. It's like this rich, oaky, vanilla-y, nutty e-liquid. Man, this is like, I would go as far as calling this decadent. I also get like maybe a little bit of fruit on the exhale. That is a really, really nice flavor, folks. That is worthy of a thumbs up. If it had a little bit more of a thump, a satisfying thump in the back of my throat, that would be a street shout out as well. So, if you like something maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit unique, do check them out. 5 Pawns e-liquid. Thank you guys very much. A really nice vape there. Oh, that's good. Even leaves a like this rich vanilla oaky flavor in your mouth. Terrific e-liquid. All right, anyway, this last company, and if I did talk to you and you didn't make it into this video, it is nothing personal. I apologize. This is just what I decided to put in. So this last company is called Epic Juice. Now, Epic Juice is actually one of the juice companies remaining in the review queue for me to look at. So I figured, what better time to review their e-liquid than in this video right here, because they were nice enough to show us their mixing lab, okay? And this doesn't happen very often. So we donned our little booties, and it was kind of funny because with our booties on, as we walked into the mixing lab, we were told not to vape. We weren't allowed to vape in there. And I had my PV on the lanyard. You know how many times I went like this? Don't do it, Phil. Okay. Listen some more. Don't do it, Phil, because I'm just so used to grabbing it and vaping it. But we weren't allowed to vape in there. So and we walked in and we talked to them about their mixing lab, and I think you'll be somewhat impressed. Here's that video. And again, I apologize. I didn't know we were going there. I didn't have my video camera, so I did have to use my phone.
So all the guys will come here, bottle everything is batch dated, and assign the law number on the board so everyone knows exactly who does it. So all the balls are trackable. That means we know exactly who did it on what day and what bin it was in. So we do a lot of that stuff just for the protection of the consumer, and also because it alleviates a lot of pressure on some of the retailers here.
So you move that into a database?
Yes, we have it all saved on Excel spreadsheets just for the FDA. If you're listening, FDA, I've been calling Thursdays. But yeah, we have everything logged in just because we need to have it measured out for OSHA. And
how about your nicotine? I mean, obviously you get nicotine from a registered supplier, and they send you their results, their test results of the nicotine purity. Do you check it yourself too?
Yeah, we have a third-party laboratory called Brea Laboratories out here. I'm Fuller, who's going to be doing all of our third-party testing for all the PG, VG, and NIC. So we give it into 3 separate vials, basically PG, VG, and then mixed with our liquids as 2, just to kind of verify that our nicotine control is adequate.
And then we also send all of our sample flavors out to testing to get these things called GCMS testing, which is basically volatile chemical testing. It just breaks it down by the molecules.
Right.
And that way we know exactly what every artificial molecule can go in, so we can figure out whether things are carcinogenic or not. So we try to keep things, as a high level as we can, just to make sure, you know.
And this is something that we've been asking for. I mean, we're not asking for $1 million lab. You're asking for a clean facility that you have your basic food grade safety, stainless steel tables, sterile floors, adequate protection and testing of your nicotine. That's not something that, this is something that every juice vendor can do.
This part, yes. There's other parts that, like I said, has a little bit higher degree of level of control, which is this batch room. You guys get to walk in here today. But basically, in this room is as aseptic as possible. We're talking about antibacterial wall paint, antibacterial ceiling panels, and then we have the industrial ISO 8 HEPA filter that carries the pulse pressure. So in this room, basically, there's no germs, no dust. It's clean as a surgical room. So then when we close the door, we have to create this extra pass-through, so that the way it doesn't get too much pressure and pop ears and stuff like that. And the panels will pop up too. So therefore, all of this is basically a positive pressure room to keep all the debris and the bacteria out of the room. So this is as clean as most surgery rooms in the United States. Yeah, we hired a lot of clean room consultants to come in to kind of give us, their take on what we can do with our space. And that's when they came in and kind of set it up. Help us basically set up the whole floor plan of what our actual process is going to be.
I think you just got some Italian germs inside there. That's why I put
There might be some Italian germs.
We'll clean it down a little bit later. We're good to go. So yeah, the whole floor plan, we did everything based off of certain standards. Like especially with the production facility and stuff like that. You can't really produce any of the Lean Sigma, Six Sigma 6 type of manufacturing here because nothing is actually being built. It's just being bottled. So we just try to keep everything lean, clean as possible.
How many people do you employ?
We currently have about 4 people, fully as full-time staff, and then there's 5 other partners too. So we have a full-time as 9 people. So we get everything bottled out. This facility could probably pump out anywhere from 100 to 200,000 bottles a month.
Wow, that's a lot of juice.
Yeah, that's not exactly. It's not that big of a space, but we're still able to go ahead and churn out those kinds of numbers. So you're looking at, if you're looking at a large space like 5,000, or you go to a production facility, you can get a machine with 1 technician and run about 1 million bottles a year.
Yeah, we saw that at Flavor Art when CJ visited Italy and did the piece from Flavor Art where they had these machines that were cutting out 10,000 bottles per hour. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Yeah,
those things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, the barrier of entry into this whole market is starting to increase. Like before, people could start really small and then kind of, organically grow into it. But now, because of the level of scrutiny by the FDA and things like that, you have to spend a lot more money. Yeah. Like those machines cost, depending on where you get them, go anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000. Yeah. And that's just a small little 2x4 unit. Not even talking about a full 20-foot assembly line either. Yeah. So, like I said, we want to be able to help the community, like we were talking earlier about trying to get the California market to get together, create our own trade association with e-liquids without having to pay members. Just a voluntary basis thing, but be able to give out enough information so that people can actually kind of develop their own system without having to pay a lot of money to get that knowledge. It should be openly, should be public. I mean, we're all for it. There's not real there's no competitors really. Everyone has their own following, so it shouldn't be something where we're closed off. And that's the reason why we invite other vendors in. We don't mind. Like, hey, come in, try it out. Look at it.
So let's just put it out there on the line. I mean, aside of financial gains or losses between companies, do you think that there is an ego thing going on? Do you think that there's a lot of ego coming into play? Which would be really unfortunate because we're talking about a business that has the potential here to set the trend for the rest of the country.
It might be ego. Like I said, sometimes, when you talk to other vendors or you meet with other people, they try to keep things really secret, and you kind of wonder why, Like for us, we don't keep any secrets. We completely open up. Like, listen, we want to help. I've never said no to anybody, basically, when it comes to asking for, what kind of regulations you do, what kind of equipment do you use. I was like, listen, it's anything anybody can do. You can Google it, look up, clean room specialists, and it costs them, like $200 an hour to get them done. So really...
Hey, look now. I mean, we got 10 people inside here taking a look at this facility. I mean, it's not like you got anything hidden or anything like that. Everything's open for anybody to see.
Basically, the only thing that's a secret to us is the recipe. But the process is something that should be shared, realistically. Yeah. Because it comes down to people can get sick. There's still problems with the upper respiratory problems. That's why we try to keep the bathroom clean, because we don't want people coughing in it, things falling in, and then someone's going to get sick. So because of those kinds of values, we try to really push hard to get the stuff clean and get other people on board with us to a certain degree. Yeah, there might be egos in play here and there, but there's egos everywhere.
So thank you to the guys from Epic Juice, because I hope you got the same impression that I did, which was pretty fucking impressive. Okay, I thought so anyway. It's the first mixing lab that I've been to that looked like that. Okay, and I'm sure there are other fantastic ones out there. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but I was impressed. And if the dollar amount on this e-liquid is a little bit more than another e-liquid, I think people would be more than willing to pay it, knowing the environment in which their e-liquid is being created. Let's not kid ourselves, folks. We are ingesting this, okay? We are taking this stuff into our bodies, and it is nice to know that even without regulation out there yet, that there are some companies that are doing it this way. All right, so what about their e-liquid? Is it any good? Let's try some and find out. So I limited it down to 3 e-liquids for this review. I do have their whole line. Problem is that they all sound really, really good and in my flavor profile. All right, so if I try some of these other ones and I have a really good experience with them, I'm sure I'll blog about it on Taste Your Juice. But I wanted to limit this one to 3 flavors. Okay. We can talk about the chart of juice prices. Now, you're welcome to go to the Epic Juice LLC website to read about them and their flavors and everything else that's going on there. But they appear to be more of a wholesaler. So the website actually redirects you to a couple other websites where you can order their e-liquids online. So I did quote one of those companies as far as pricing, and that would be Next Gen Vapor or Next Gen Vapors. And here you can see on the chart of juice prices, Epic Juice coming in at $20.50 for 30 mils, $1.99 extra for shipping. Okay, so that's the pricing for Epic Juice. So what is Apple Jacks? Well, it's pretty much what you would expect. A flavorful combination of apple and cinnamon notes, a definite fan favorite that hits home with cereal lovers everywhere. All right, so Apple Jacks. We'll go ahead and do some dripping. That's what the juice looks like. It's kind of this orangey color. All right, dripping some Apple Jacks. You know, I did try this one at the show. I did try this one at the show, and instantly wanted to buy some. So let's go ahead and have a vape with you guys right now. Well, that's at 4 volts from the last review. Let's go back down to 3.7. Okay, 3.7. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. There we go. Okay, Apple Jacks. It's Apple Jacks cereal. It's cinnamon toasty Apple Jacks. I get a nice bakery cinnamon and a really nice apple flavor there. It's a really good blend of the 2 flavors together. And I'm talking about flavor before vapor and throat hit. The vapor is fantastic on this. I would expect that from the 6040. And you know, where the previous e-liquid that we just looked at, I didn't get that thump. I am getting the thump from this one. That is spot on Apple Jacks. That is a thumbs up. And that is a street shout out as well, without a doubt. That's a great flavor. If you like Apple Jacks cereal, you will not be disappointed with that e-liquid right there. That is fantastic. Okay, let's clean this out. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this next one is right up my flavor profile. This is Oasis, okay? And Oasis's bright tropical notes and a mellow sweet undertone provides our vapors a touch of paradise. A great combination of pineapple, oranges, and additional fruity goodness. What could be better than fruity goodness? So anyway, there is the color of that one. That's a little bit darker, kind of a dark orange. Let's try some Oasis. The smell is kind of terrific. I get orange, a lot of orange and pineapple from the smell of that one. All right, let's try Oasis. Let's see if that is as good as it smells. A lot of flavor in this e-liquid. All right, so the vapor is fantastic. The throat hit, I'm getting that nice thump that I like. Predominant flavors in this one are definitely the pineapple and orange. Really good mix of each. I'm getting banana in this one as well. There's a ton of flavor in this one, but there's like this slight bit of a an artificial or maybe a bit of a chemical taste to it. Not a lot. It's really slight. Let me go ahead and try some more for you. I think orange first, then pineapple, then some banana. I would vape that. That's a thumbs up. Not a street shout out because of that very slight artificial taste to that e-liquid. They could actually tone down the flavors in this one and make it a really great vape. But that's good. That's good. All right, so that one is a thumbs up too. All right, clean it up. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this last one is Big Stick. What is Big Stick? It's the greatest after-school snack in vaping form. A sweet mix of pineapple and cherry with additional fruit notes. It is a lovely Dimitris pink color, and I think I have my colors adjusted wrong because this is pink. So I get cherry from this. That's very strong cherry, and a lot of the cherries that I've tried in the past, they come across as like cough medicine. Okay, so let's see if we get cough medicine from this one. All right, here we go. Big Stick. Probably named after some candy that I'm not familiar with. The vapor is terrific. Got a nice throat hit on this one. Predominant flavor is definitely cherry, and it's a nice cherry. This is a really nice cherry. And then I get the pineapple. I am not getting any other fruity flavors to mention, but definitely hit in the face with the cherry first. Again, a lot of flavor in this e-liquid. Hit in the face with the cherry first, then I get the pineapple, and that's what I get. I get cherry pineapple. And it is not coming across like a cough medicine. It's just coming across as kind of like a really kind of sweet, in-your-face cherry flavor. You know, slightly artificially tasting, but not enough for me not to give that one a thumbs up. No street shout out there either. But if you're a fan of cherry, I think you'd really like this one, Big Stick from Epic Juice. So let's take care of their one street shout out. All right, folks, if you are a fan of cinnamon toasty Apple Jacks, that's what this one packs. That was really corny. Apple Jacks from Epic Juice. If you like the cereal, you can't help but not like this one. A nice bakery cinnamon, a nice apple flavor. It tastes like the cereal. Apple Jacks from Epic Juice. Check it out. So a really good tasting experience here from the folks at Epic Juice. And you gave them all thumbs up because they showed you the mixing lab. No, actually, I didn't. I gave them the thumbs up because their e-liquids are really good. So good, I can't wait to try their other ones, as a matter of fact. I was actually looking forward to giving those guys a thumbs down because they kept calling me Pete. They kept calling me Pete. It's Phil. Or Pablo, or Pete if you want. But it is Phil, okay? So Epic Juice, some good stuff there. So we did have a whole lot of fun beyond the event and the devices and meeting people. Here I am trying my hand at vaping Cali style, quite unsuccessfully, I might add.
All right, we're going. We're rolling.
You're on? You just got the right thing? All right. This is for the West Coast vapors, okay? Here we go. That's not nearly
Take
as
a
much
big one.
as
What is that? Come on.
That was
That was a girly puff.
Oh,
Come on.
You got it rigged.
Yeah, I got
You
it rigged.
take it and you flip the switch.
I'll do it right
That's
after
what he
you.
does.
Hey, I'll do it right after you. Shake it a little bit there, Phil.
It's like the Legal Vape 4000.
Let's see a true West Coaster hit it right here. Let's see it.
Hold on. We're weak in the East Coast, man. Wow.
Let me give you a little juice. Hold on a second. No, whatever. I'm out of juice.
You can't feel it?
I'm all right.
Somebody call an ambulance.
You ready?
Oh my God, I can't see a thing.
Oh yeah? Watch this. All right, I got an idea. Stand right here.
Okay.
Okay, ready? You ready? Ready?
I got it. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, buddy.
And then, of course, there was the fire alarm that went off by the. They must have what do you call it? Visual sensors in there, and the all of the vape that was in the room set the fire alarm off. So we were all asked to go outside. They got everybody in really, really quick. Here's some video of that, and this is the funny thing because. Dimitri is recording this and he's going live over the internet, and Jamie is behind us shooting the video, and Dimitri leans over to me. He says, "Hey, Phil, I'm going to grab your ass. It'll be funny for video. Be funny." Okay, whatever, Dimitri, go ahead, knock yourself out. So he does, and instead of it just going live to video, somebody manages to grab that. It was like literally 1 second in time, and somebody managed to grab that photo for a very, very unique ECC piece of memorabilia. And it did wind up all over Facebook. So that's how that happened. And it's always great to meet all the people that are going to these events, the unique mods that they've come up with themselves, the unique people themselves, and the nice people as well. And again, I'm very appreciative for the warm welcome that I received there in California.
I love the homemade stuff. That's awesome. It's a little Sidel. What's your name?
I'm Josh Levesque, SoCal Tortuga on the networks.
Very, very cool, man. I like that. R2D2.
Oh, hi. Good.
You have a giant lizard on your back.
Holy crap! Oh my God! Oh my God! Is it still on me? And her name is Penelope. Yes.
And is Penelope a vapor as well?
Penelope is a vapor.
Really?
Yes. She's I got her down from 24 to 18. So we're still working on it. She won't let me bring her down to 12 yet. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name's Marty.
Hi, Marty.
Hi. So good to meet you. It's okay. It's all right.
Nice to meet you.
Very good to meet you. Oh, thank you.
I want to say hello to these guys right here. What's your name?
I'm Gio.
How long have you been vaping for?
About a year?
About a year.
2 years?
2 years?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Brian.
Brian. What's your name?
Albert.
Albert.
2 years.
You guys are now in the ECC video. And I want to thank these guys very much because I just came up to the bar to get myself a soda and they picked up the tab. So thank you guys very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
ECC to
Vape on.
Thank you guys. Great meeting you guys.
All right, so before we wrap this all up, this two-parter full-length motion picture, because I do have some video of me and Dimitri in front of the fountain. It was very romantic. Let's forget about all of the shiny things and forget about all of the new devices and the prices and all of the e-liquids and everything. Let's just forget about all of that for a second, and let's talk to this gentleman right here, and let's keep in mind what this is all about.
So how long have you been smoking? Like how many years? Have you ever figured it out?
Never really. Since I was 18 years old.
Since you were 18 years old.
Yeah.
So let's say that's 30 years. Now,
Thank you. Yeah, real nice.
Let's say it's 40 years.
Right.
Okay. But I mean, have you tried to quit smoking in the past?
I did. I've tried patches. I've tried all different types of stuff, and it just didn't really work. I did quit one time for quite a while, and I went back to it. Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But these are keeping me off. There's no doubt.
So you haven't had a cigarette since you started vaping?
Yep.
You've been vaping
Well, I started on a Friday, and I had my last cigarette Sunday morning 10 weeks ago.
10 weeks ago.
So 2 days of vaping, and I went back to a cigarette Sunday morning, tried it. It tasted like crap. Put it down.
It's amazing how fast it tastes like crap, isn't it?
It really is.
So you've
Absolutely.
had some really good success with vaping.
Yes.
You know, have you felt any different?
I feel better. I'm not running out of breath as bad or anything, man. It really makes it. You smell better.
Yeah.
Tastes better, unfortunately.
You can smell a smoker coming from a mile away.
You can't, or somebody who just put one out.
Yep, yep. Well, you know, I really appreciate you talking to me. I appreciate you letting me put you on camera. And I mean, just congratulations, because that's really what it's all about, getting people to quit smoking. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and I want to thank you for all you've done on your site. That's where I've learned everything that I've gotten out of these things, is by looking at all your reviews and all that type of stuff.
You know, when I hear people like you say that, okay, it makes all the time and effort really, really worthwhile. I'm thankful for you sharing your story with me. Thank you.
It's true. It's true.
So to you, sir, thank you very much. And to the FDA, I hope you're listening.
To end this amazing experience here at ECC, Dimitri will now jump into the fountain.
Yes, there you go. I need to, honestly. It's been a long, long day.
Oh, wow, what a day.
I look forward to a big bath. Thank you. Later on.
Do you want me to loofah you? What a great event. You know, I mean, they're always fun. I don't care if a vape event has 20 people, or in this case, what, maybe 10,000?
I think over 10,000 must have gone through these doors the last 48 hours, yeah.
But it's always a good time. It's great to meet the vapors and see the product, and you know, this one had a little bit of a different feel to it. This one was more like a trade show, and we'll be talking about that a lot when I edit this video and when you see this video. But it was a great time, and thank you so much for the shirt. Thank you for letting me be part of big family there yesterday for the show. I think we had a lot of fun. I know Dimitri has all the information that you will ever need on the deer antler guys, so if you're interested in that.
I actually feel, I've vaped a little bit and I feel like I can run a marathon now. No, I'm just kidding. It was creepy. That was creepy. It really was.
So maybe you can last more than 30 seconds tonight? Is that what you
That would be a record, though. That would be. Honestly, though, the ECC, just a different vibe. Great seeing all these people. It really was. Hanging out with you, seeing our friends, John, Jessica, I mean, Jamie came down from Boston. It's always a great time. One thing that really, really impressed me, and I think a difference between an East Coast meet and a West Coast meet, the juice selection. How the flavor is different, how the palates here on the West Coast are different than the East Coast. East Coast, a lot of mentholated juices, a lot of tobaccos, a lot of higher milligrams. Here on the West Coast, a lot of fruit stuff, bakery, low 6 milligrams, higher VG juices. That really impressed me.
There were actually some in certain cases where I wanted to buy 12 milligram and they didn't have 12 milligram. They all had 6 milligram. That's what they were giving me. But it's a different, and not only the juices, but the way they vape here is different.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of dripping going on. There's a lot of wide open atomizers going on. There's a lot of cloud blowing going on. And you know, people seem to think that like I'm negative towards that. There's some of it that I don't agree with, okay? Maybe doing it like in public, but at a vape event, go ahead and blow your clouds all day long. They blew so many clouds, they set off the fire alarm.
Yes, absolutely. But some of the clubs that are in here, like Vape Live, they sit there and they help you build coils. They teach you about battery chemistry and safety.
Right, and the vendors that I talked to, they all had the same thing. They're like, we teach our customers to do it the right way, and we teach our customers about the battery safety and to understand the battery, what it's capable of. So they are definitely talking about safety in there too. And I think it's important because when the kids go in, not the kids, but you know, the 18-year-olds get into this, they see it, they think it's cool, they want to do it. It's important that they're doing it the right way.
Yeah. Right? And we don't want to set a fad. Let's always remember that E6 is a way for us to get away from tobacco. It's not a fad for us. Blowing clouds, sub-ohms, they're fun. We'll do it at a vape meet, take a couple of pulls, but it's not something that we can use on a daily basis to stay on cigarettes.
I know I can't do it because I just tried it in there and I got caught for half an hour. You have any closing thoughts?
No, I want to thank you for joining us for the Vape Team last night and broadcasting everybody at home that couldn't make it here in the ECC. Not only got a glimpse of the vendors, but a glimpse into your entertainment and what you bring to us too. And we really enjoyed interacting with you. I want to apologize again for the deer antler guy. I don't know where that was going, but we had a lot of fun, a lot of antics. We shot a lot of video, and most of all, we got to hang again. So that was, to me, was really important. One of the highlights.
We are friends. We almost look like brothers a little bit.
We do. It's kind of scary.
I think we were attached at the hip.
We might have to do a DNA test at some point.
I heard you're going to steal my DNA from yeah, we'll talk about that.
By the way, I have been collecting his hair from the sink, and it will be on Auction Trader next week, so look for that. Underneath the TUs, PBusardo DNA for sale.
They can clone their own PBusardo. All right, so from ECC in Anaheim, California, Jessica's making me laugh. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?